Good afternoon, lovely humans. I hope that you are doing well on this beautiful afternoon. It is currently 16:34 or 4:34 on this beautiful day, and you are tuned into Natsa Radio, your favorite radio podcast where we wax poetically and chat about all things that have yanked our attention on social media or in pop culture in general. We are going to be tackling and looking at a few things in this segment or episode, but before we do that, my question to you today, lovely humans, my question for the week, my question for the hour is, how are you doing? We are officially in the second half of 2026. Are there new adventures that you are going to be venturing into? Are there new things that you are looking to try? What are your goals for the second half of this year? How are you feeling about it? But also, how are you doing, lovely humans? Do let me know in the comment section down below. Now, in this episode, in this segment of Natsa Radio this week, we are going to be looking at a couple of things. Number one thing that we're going to be looking at is you can never predict your next scroll. Guys, I have come across some interesting things on these social media streets, and there are only two posts, or four or three, I don't know, we'll see, that I just want us to chat about, because what's going on in the streets of social media. Then we are going to be talking about how we feel about AI music, because there is this one song that I have just been particularly enjoying. And I've just recently found out that it's an AI generated song, and I don't know how we feel about it, but I've kind of been like, I really like this song. I love this song. We're going to chat about that in this episode today. We're also going to be talking about Miss South Africa Top 24 specifically. We're also going to chat through the FIFA World Cup, the BET Awards, and some TikTok Russians and bangers that I have come across that I'd love us to chat about. And then we're going to tie everything up with a neat and beautiful bow. We are going to talk about some positive news, because there's been a lot going on. Aye, kuninzi man, kuninzi brew. But let's talk about some positive news in this episode and segment of Natsa Radio. So stay tuned, my lovelies.
I need direct connection to you like a landline. It's a landmine in my chest that I stand by. With my hands high, fully surrendered, anticipating booms. It's crazy. One false move could bring a tomb to the vision that I have of me and you in a forever state. You got what makes my house a home, come and decorate. Like a nigga scared to fight, hope we never fade. But if we ever separate, no.
I'd walk barefoot through time zones, valley of dry bones. Give all that I own to show you what time I'm on. 'Cause I'll go to the end of the earth for you. I'll go running till the death for you. When it felt like the whole world coming down on you, I'll go to the end of the earth for you. All or nothing, you just call me when you need me.
You can honestly never predict your next scroll. You can't. You really can't. I came across this video this week on TikTok. A gentleman, David Okuruka, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, excuse me if I'm not. He was sharing his testimony about how he was addicted to hard drugs. Now, trigger warning, trigger the warnings. I've never been smacked of the gob the way I was smacked of the gob by this video. Now, in this video, he's explaining, it seems like he was invited onto this podcast to just share his story. He'd also been abused, molested, I think sexually assaulted as well. So he's just on this podcast explaining his life story and all of that. Now, again, trigger warning. In this video, the video or the reel or the TikTok video that I watched, he was sharing and explaining how this particular drug, and I forgot the name, but I'll put it here, and maybe insert the video, but I can't find it anymore. I think that's just how gruesome and brutal some of the imagery was, and some of, what he was sharing was, that I think it got removed on TikTok. But essentially in the video, he's explaining how he would use this drug and inject it into his body. And he used to inject this drug into his body so much so that it ate away at his flesh. It ate away at his flesh, and he was literally showing on his arms, on his legs, how much it had eaten away at his body. So much that he was down to the bone, to the marrow. Oh my God. And he just kept going. Like, he would inject his bone. And it was so bad, guys. I was just like, how did I get here? I did not build my algorithm with these bricks. What is happening right now? It was so bad, guys. It honestly was so bad. He was even explaining that some mornings he would wake up, like, this drug had, he was so addicted to this drug. It was so bad that some mornings he would wake up with maggots on his body because his body was rotting. And he would wake up, and the first thing that he would do in the morning is he would wake up. Before he injects this drug into his body, he would dust off the maggots that, would, crawl on his body. And I said, oh, Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. Oh my God. He said it got so bad that he used to inject this drug into his private areas. Guys, this video, oof, it is absolutely... And as he was explaining, he's just explaining these things matter of fact. And I'm like, sir, no. That's the video that I watched. And then I went down this rabbit hole, and I shouldn't have. Because am I Alice? No. The other video that I watched actually depicted, there were actual videos of how he looked live and in action. Because obviously this podcast is like years later and whatever, or months later, I don't even know. Of, the aftermath of him having done the drugs and, the results that, that it had on his body. But then I saw a video, which I think has been removed, of his state at that time, live in action. I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. And that's the last video I watched. It was wild. So, yeah. What videos have you come across on your socials that have just been like, I can't predict my next scroll, and I don't want to. I need to train my algorithm not to show me some of the stuff, because what do you actually even mean? What do you actually even mean? Another video that I want to talk about is a neither here nor there video. It's like, it's not that deep, but it just tugged at my heartstrings. It just tugged at my heartstrings, and I actually want to talk about it. And I just squeezed it in. I squeezed it into the segment of you cannot predict your next scroll, because I didn't know where else to put it. Let's leave Uncle Kirk alone. Can we just leave Uncle Kirk Franklin alone, please? Gospel icon Kirk Franklin found himself in a tense and unexpected confrontation during the 2026 FIFA World Cup American Festival in Pennsylvania after an interaction with a bystander escalated into a heated exchange. Now, all the disclaimers that exist in the world in place here, and a little caveat and side note, right? So that you can take what I'm about to say with the pinchiest of salt that you have ever taken. My next, few couple of words. I love Uncle Kirk. I absolutely appreciate his vulnerability, his transparency, especially for someone that exists within Christendom. And if you know, you really do be knowing. So I really appreciate Kirk Franklin, and he just has a special place in my heart. I don't know why, I can't tell you. I just saw his ministry unfold before my very fleshy eyes. And so, yeah, he has a very special place in my heart. I really enjoyed and this is also another side note, I really enjoyed his Father's Day, a Kirk Franklin story mini documentary series that's currently actually on YouTube if you want to watch it. And, I think if there's one thing that, a lot of people can get out of Franklin is the fact that he shares his life so vulnerably. He lives his life in full view of everyone, and he's so transparent and honest about his shortcomings and whatever. He's just a lot more vulnerable than some people in Christendom, and that's why I appreciate him and I love him. So that caveat aside, that disclaimer aside, can we leave this man alone? Now, the video that I watched, I don't have full context of. I saw the moments where this person was just wow 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 whoa, 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 why? Shouting at Uncle Kirk, and he was just opening his arms, and he was like, do you want a hug, brother? Do you want a hug? I can give you a hug. And, the man was just like, I don't hug heathens, essentially. And I was just like, oh, hell to the no. Oh, hell to the no. I just found that very unsavory. I just felt this to just be an encounter that was just like uncalled for, unnecessary. Honestly, if you do want someone to repent, you know what I mean? Why not pray for him? Why not do something other than confront him in the way that you did? Because that was actually just so distasteful, in my opinion. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Nothing extensive, really. What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? I'd love to hear, what your thoughts are with regards to that video, the video that I spoke of, before this one. Or maybe actually none of them, and what you would classify as a video that could fall under the segment of you can never really predict your next scroll, because what exists out there on social media is just absolutely hectically insane, and you can never really predict your next scroll. How do we feel about AI-generated music? This is Njalo Njalo by Credo V. Daniels. This is AI-generated. I absolutely couldn't believe this. And I recently discovered this. I discovered this earlier today. Actually, I discovered this today. I came across this TikTok video where someone was like, Metro FM, stop playing AI generated music. And it was this one. And I said, what? I couldn't believe it. I genuinely couldn't believe it. I was shocked. I was smacked off the gob. How do we feel about AI generated music? Do we feel like, meh, you know, music is music? Do we have our hesitations, our reservations for AI generated music, specifically because what are we saying about the artists that put in, you know, the hard work of mixing vocals and, you know, producing and doing and putting in the actual hard work, sweat, blood, create meaningful and just music that makes people feel and music that people love? What are we saying about that, and how does, you know, AI generated music take away from that, especially in an industry like South Africa, where the music industry is already one that is extremely hard to crack into? What are we saying about AI generated music? I personally have very mixed feelings, because I feel like to be able to generate something like this on AI, you must have some kind of understanding of, you know, music. You know, you have to be musically inclined somehow. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be mistaken. Please let me know, especially if you are someone in the music industry or you have some music technicalities, you know, just let me know. What are your thoughts? Because this was a complete shock to me. I've been, you know, bopping to this one for sure for the last couple of weeks. I think the first time it came out, I was on it. And I was very surprised. So do let me know, how are we feeling about AI generated music? Please leave your comments in the comment sections down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, especially with regards to whether you are for it or against it, and more importantly, why. If you are in the music industry, even more so, would love to hear your thoughts, but also in general, just love to hear some opinions around this as well. Let me know. AI generated music, yay? Nay? What do we say? How are we feeling about the top 24 cohorts of this year's Miss South Africa contestants? How are we feeling? How are we feeling? Now, I have a mixed bag of emotions when it comes to, you know, Miss South Africa, but, you know, let's put a pin in that and let's discuss the matter at hand. Our top 24, how are we feeling? Who are we leaning more towards? And to be honest, don't answer that question, because I know exactly who you are voting for. It's clear as day that, you know, South Africa has a favorite, and that's Makhosazana Princess Masongo. And it's just sad, I think, in my opinion, and not sad in the sense that she doesn't deserve it. I think she does. She's absolutely brilliant, absolutely stunning, and, you know, what she is doing is absolutely remarkable as well. And so it's very understandable that, you know, she's the one that, to quote a lot of comments, is standing out and is the favorite. I just feel like there is more that could be done to highlight the brilliance and the excellence of the other girls. I don't know what happened to Crown Chasers. We used to have a reality show type situation for Miss South Africa where, you know, we had a chance to see how the contestants show up and how they naturally exist in the world, so that we can have a little bit more information on, you know, who we want to vote for without just having this clear-cut, distinctive. I mean, even before the top 24 was released, Azana was already the favorite. And I think that is quite sad for the other contestants who are participating. So why don't we bring back Crown Chasers? Why don't they have like this showcase on Netflix, or even like a TikTok miniseries? I think people would follow. People might appreciate that, but maybe I might be talking out my ass. I would love to hear your thoughts on this matter, so do let me know in the comment section down below. Now, voting closes on the 6th of July, so do vote for your favorite, whether that's on the Miss South Africa app or on their official website. You can cast your vote and vote for your favorite there. About 3 days ago, the semi-finalists had their judges interviews, which is what is also known as Judging Day. That was 3 days ago from me recording this, and you know, there is some post-interview clips that you can find on Instagram, so do check that out and then cast your votes, or cast your votes anyway if you already have your favorite. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, lovely humans, with regards to, you know, Miss South Africa. Have you just given up on Miss South Africa, or do you still love it? Is it still something that's very dear to your heart? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment in the comment section down below.
Got everything you need it. Now bring it like you need it. Just like you need it.
let's chat the FIFA World Cup. Oh my goodness, I've been absolutely loving the FIFA World Cup. Have you guys been following? Have you been watching the matches? Who are some of your favorite teams? Because you can't just have one, you need to have an extra. You need to pocket one and then also bank on one. You need a couple of teams, who you're supporting for the FIFA World Cup. So who are those teams for you? Do let me know in the comment section down below. Now, my favorites, Argentina and France. I've been banking. Those are two of my favorite teams in this year's, World Cup. They're my favorites. I hope they go far. Guys, the biggest shocker, right? We're in the round of 32s. As of me recording this episode, South Africa and Canada have played. Brazil and Japan have played. Germany and Paraguay have played. Netherlands and Morocco has played. And Cote d'Ivoire is about to play Norway as of me recording this, right? The biggest shocker. How is Germany out of the World Cup so soon? Not even making it to the quarterfinals is absolutely insane. That has been the biggest surprise. Following that surprise is Netherlands also not making it. Both Paraguay and Morocco making it through to the round of 16s. I don't know about you, but that has left me in a little bit of a shocker. Isn't Germany in the top? Doesn't Germany form part of the top teams? Oh my days, that has left me gob for the smacked. But who are your favorites? Like I said, do let me know in the comment section down below. Now, I have been loving Trevor Noah's watch party.
Oh, another attack! Another goal, Bacola!
Oh! Bacola!
What?
Whoa!
What?
Bradley Bacola! La mena coupa la misère.
Nice.
Allez les blas.
Allez les bleus. Wow. Are you not entertained?
I've been absolutely loving Trevor Noah's watch parties because, some of the times that these matches are scheduled, whether it's 7 and 9, 10, 11, even 3 o'clock, because what? It's very difficult to be watching these matches with people all the time. And so you're out there watching a match. I like to post, matches on my stories and how I'm feeling and things like that. But you just feel this sense of alonement, especially if you don't have a housemate or whatever. You don't have a certain situation where you're able to watch it with people. I'm very fortunate that I have housemates and I can watch with them. But sometimes you are just by your lonesome, and sometimes it gets sad and lonely. And I've really been enjoying Trevor Noah's watch parties. What are some of the things that you have been enjoying about, the FIFA World Cup? I've also been enjoying the TikToks and the Reels, or just Mbappe being a general. Guys, you are cracking me up. I'm kiki ha-haing and I'm having the best time. I love the atmosphere that the World Cup creates. I just love the unity and the vibe that just exists because of the World Cup. It's just absolutely one of my favorites, and I will always watch, the World Cup. Anyway, that's me on the World Cup.
Come on, boy!
What the hell is all this?
I'm hosting the BET Awards this year, man. Cut him off. Yeah. You coming?
Can't do it. So you think I got time to go get a black suit and tie?
Hey, hit the sparks again.
There it goes.
Come on,
I knew you would come up with
June
something.
28th.
I knew you would. June what?
June 28th.
In the good ear.
June 28th. Hey, Martin. June 28th. Run and tell that.
Sunday, June 28th at 8, the BET Awards 2026, hosted by Drewski.
The BET Awards. Let's chat about the BET Awards now. Darlings, disclaimer, I have not watched a single minute of the BET Awards, so this is going to be a little bit of an awkward situation, isn't it? But I would love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment in the comment section down below if you have watched the BET Awards, or maybe you came across some clips and highlight reels like I have, which is what I'm going to be talking about for this particular segment. But do let me know what you think and what you thought about what you did see with regards to the BET Awards. Now, the first wind and hoof that I came across with regards to BET Awards is when Drewski released that video. He posted that video which showcased that he'd be the one essentially hosting the BET Awards. And I was like, yeah, BET, That's the right move. That is absolutely the right move because you will pull in the numbers. Because what does Drewski do? He pulls in the numbers. Now, some of the highlight reels that I saw was, Drewski redoing his skits for the BET Awards. And I was like, wow, they actually made this man hang from the ceiling. Crazy times. Crazy times. Another clip or highlight reel that I saw was when Kiki grabbed the mic from Drewski and she was like, darling, they should have let me host this. And I was like, yeah, no, Kiki, I agree, but do you pull in the numbers like Drewski? But to be honest, I think whether it was Drewski or Kiki, I think even if they hosted it together, would have been a phenomenal time. Another highlight that I saw, and then the last, a couple of other highlights, but the one that really touched me was when they paid tribute to Miss Lauryn Hill, and I absolutely loved that. They should be paying tribute to legends while they can still see and smell their flowers. So I think that was absolutely special. I also love Lauryn Hill, so there's that. But what are some of your highlights? What are some of the things that stood out to you at the BET Awards? Is there anything that you particularly enjoyed? This cultural phenomenon that is the BET Award.
You've been hit by, you've been struck by a smooth ole buruku. Olo she want carry me money on. Motherfucker no see a giro. And they tell you small, you know they hear what. And they money tell you for my mirror. No see my money, I go use bandits. When they cost some money, I they lose my feel. So let me see you anywhere for this country. While I go see something. Oh my millions, for the money you don't talk a million. Make I no see my millions, and then you gonna see me a serious. Melly, you better do magic. Behave yourself or you go see something. Until I go crazy, where they leave for me no worry. And I know they okay, better send them to my OP. Man, I know they okay, better send them to my OP. Man, I know they okay, better send them to my OP.
To wrap up this segment/episode of Natso Radio, we're going to be taking a close look at some TikTok/Instagram Russians and bangers. Yes, I'm talking about the songs that have just left us gobsmacked by some artists that have been posting their music on, whether that's TikTok, on Instagram. They might not be, the mainstream artists that we know, but they're absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. This one is one of, and has been one of my favorites. Woo! This is Reckless and arranged by Ethan French. It is his day 56 post. Has been posting songs every day for a couple of days, and this is his day 56 post. I love his videos, I love his music, but I also love his lyrics. There's like little doodles on his lyrics and things like that, but this song is absolutely amazing. The most painful thing about this song is that it is 1 minute 16 seconds long. I wish it was longer. This is Bangladesh by Ian McCollan. Also, another sad part about this song is that it is 50 seconds long. Come on, Ian, give us a little bit more. I've been absolutely obsessed with this banger, this Russian and banger. I absolutely love it. And I know that a lot of people love it as well. This is Bangladesh by Ian McCollan. Now, this one has shocked me, I won't lie, because the response has been a very, very mixed bag, and I thought it was very clear to all of us that this is artistic genius.
My daddy died. Mommy cried. Doctor eyed. Her prophesied amazing life. Amazingly and humbly.
Absolutely insane.
My daddy died, so I don't take no shit from niggas. If I love me back, I pray and do not pull that trigger.
This is Daddy Died by Earth Sign Shells.
I am not punished for the fun I have. I'm selling all my soul to get my daddy back. Tired of hanging on my back. I've had my button back. With me.
This is art. This is absolute art. And I think I've noted that people that love slam poetry and love rap and love that world and that art have absolutely leaned all into this and absolutely love it. So it does have its audience, but I think it's a banger for sure.
My daddy died.
Absolutely love it. This is, again, Daddy Died by Earth Sign Charles. And we have come to the end of this episode of Natso Radio. Thank you so much, lovely humans, for sticking around and chilling with me today. You are watching Natso Radio, your favorite radio podcast. Each week we wax poetically and chat about all things that have yanked our attention on social media or in pop culture in general. I'll be catching you in the next one. But before I do, lovely humans, here is some positive news.